Hello, and you're very welcome to episode number 10 of this 16-week marathon training plan leading up to the Wizz Air Milan Marathon on April 6, 25. The weeks are ramping on. We're into double digits, 6 weeks to go. And you're getting to the juicy part of the plan now at the moment. So without further ado, we'll crack on and get into it and explain how the past week went. So starting off the week, Monday, and it's usually, as you're sick hearing, it's a rest day for me, and a few people have been getting on to me, and well then, if it's a rest day, but it's a long day, why don't you get to the gym and do a session in the gym and all the rest of it? Then it wouldn't be a rest day. And I have to tell you, at my age, I'm coming up to 56 years of age now, and I badly need this day off. Look, I'm working today, so it's a full day's work, so I badly need the rest day, I won't lie to you. Training 6 days a week, getting into a couple of strength sessions. I won't lie to you, by the end of the long run on a Sunday, I know the body needs it. And when I'm going up to bed Sunday evening, I'm waking up Monday morning, I know coming down the stairs that the body does be tired, and I won't lie to you. That's what you get. I'm 10 weeks into this marathon training plan. We've built up a consistent amount of mileage. I think every week, bar the one rest week that I've had, has been over 50 miles a week, you know. So pushing, I'd say we're averaging close to 90k a week. So it takes the toll, you know what I mean? So it's listen to the body and take the shagging day off. I could be very easily tempted to go over for a swim and do something, but no, I take the day off. I have a full day work ahead of me. So take the day off, get the rest, get the sleep. And I find it works wonders for me going forward. I get out Tuesday, I do a nice easy run Tuesday morning, and it works wonders for me. So Tuesday, we cracked on, and I met the boys Tuesday morning, got 6 miles easy, very, very easy. I think it was a rest week for the lads, so they weren't going mad. So I was glad to get out with them Tuesday morning, got the 6 miles done. Headed over to the gym afterwards and changed the back a bit in the gym this week. Went back to the weights, and I added in some Bulgarian split squats this week. Glute dominated, just leaning forward in the Bulgarian split squat. Just puts more emphasis on the glutes, and really felt it now, I have to say. But it was good to get it back in. I'll put the program that I done up on the screen here beside me, and great to get back into the gym and start lifting a few weights. I just had a kind of an off period there for a couple of weeks, but no, very good. I was lifting good weights for me, and that's the thing about the weights, it's purely for you. Whatever you do, and whatever I do, you know. I do 3 sets of 5, so they're heavy enough for me, and I struggle to get the last 1 or 2 up. And that's the way I like it. And as soon as I accomplish, say 3 sets of 5, I put a tick beside it. I stay at that for 1 session. The next day I go in 3 sets of 5, and then I put a little tick beside it up. So the next day I know I have to increase the weight. Now it might be only another 2 kilos that I put onto it, and I up the weight and I put the tick beside it. So the next day I know what I'm doing. So that's what we got through on Tuesday. And yeah, very good to be back. On Wednesday, I went to do the 8x1k session up in the park, and it's gas. Wednesday was probably the nicest day we've had all year, and work schedule was a little bit easy, and I said, grand, I'll have a bit of a lie on, go up to the park, headed up to the park about 10:30, 11:15, got the 2 miles warm up done, started into the session, going very well. I was walking into the session, into the 1Ks. I kicked off the first one, I think it was just under 4 minutes. Then we got it down to about 3:50. And we were averaging around 3:50, the first, second, third and the fourth one. But on the fourth one, I had an incident coming up with a dog. And I dare say its owner. And came out from behind the blooming bush and started me, came up right beside me, and I jinked to the left. And whatever way I jinked, I twisted my knee. And finished out the 1,000 metres, but I knew, got that feeling. Got around to the finish, done my recovery, I went to start the 5th one. Not a hope in hell. Too sore, too painful, and I won't lie to you, I was a little bit worried. I just knocked her on the head and exited the park and got home as quick as I could. I jogged up the road. I could feel her all the way up, just running very, very easy. Could feel her all the way home, and I won't lie to you, I was scared. I thought I'd done something stupid, but got it home, got plenty of ice on it, activated the plan. No point sitting looking at it. Got the ice into her for a good 15-20 minutes, doing a bit of ice massage on the outside of the knee. Got to go and do a bit of work on it. Felt all right walking around that afternoon and all the rest of it. Felt all night. I won't lie to you, I was up half the night wondering about it. I was massaging it, I was doing everything else, and up half the night thinking about it. Was it this? Was it that? There's the bloody Project 259 going out the window, and oh Jesus Christ, my head was melted. I was awake half the night. I wanted to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and go for a run just to test it out. It was one of those blooming things, you know. And but look, it turned out well in the end. I got up the next morning, I met the boys. They ran 8 miles, and I started off with them nice and easy, and we got through it. I could feel it there all right, but I got through it, and once I knew I got back, I knew it was grand. It was just a blooming tweak and all the rest of it. My mind was back to reset. So it was grand. Put the bed to rest and get on with it, you know. And that was a massive relief for me. So delighted to get that run out of the way. Thursday, easy run after the session the day before. So yeah, we got that out of the way. Friday was the same. Met the boys, 6 miles, very easy. And 6 or 7 miles, I think it was. Very easy, happy enough. And that led me on to Saturday. Saturday's park run out in Malahide. I'd done a bit of research around a few different park runs, which was fast courses and all the rest of it, what times were being done and all the rest. So I knew going out to Malahide, there was a couple of people doing around the time that I wanted to do, 1840, 1830s, around that time. And went out Saturday morning. Got my warm-up done. Nice 2.5 miles of warm-up. Done a few strides and set into it. It went very well. I had to walk my backside off. Though I knew Annette Keeley was in the race. She's a legend of Irish female athletics in general. She's an absolute legend. And I know she'd been breaking 19 minutes on that course. She's never been able to play in 19 minutes. And I knew I just had to hang on to her. It felt very, very hard. I have to tell you, the first mile, ramping the legs up to keep with that speed, and she was getting about 10 yards on me. And look, I was holding the 10 yards. I was happy to hold the 10 yards. Came back after the first lap, went out on the second, and I started to settle into it then a little bit more. I was working hard. I knew I was working hard, but the head was good, and I was talking to myself nicely, and managed to catch Annette through the trees. And we're about a mile to go, and I was in the mind then whether to push or whether to stay. Just when I went by her, I went to push. I got that surge of adrenaline, and I pushed, and I was delighted I did. Went after another couple of lads in front of me, drove it on. Won't say I was absolutely flat to the mat. I felt my legs were barely coming off the ground, but I was all in. And the last little bit in Malahide, up past the clubhouse there of the pitch and putt and the tennis courts, Jesus Christ almighty, it felt like blooming Mount Everest to get up. And I knew I was struggling, but I was hanging on. I had a talk going up, I can't do any more. I couldn't run another Jesus second more. I couldn't push any harder. So it was a matter of just hanging on and just holding on for dear life. Got up to the top and went left, down the bit of a hill. I don't know which was worse, the uphill or the bloody downhill. But look, I got through it, got over the line. I was absolutely made up. 18:43, exactly what I was looking for. It puts me sub 3 hours. And I was absolutely made up for it now, you know. It was one of those things that it was coming, ifs and buts, and will I, won't I, and if I don't do it, and all the rest of it, and what would people think, and all the rest of it. It was great, got another box ticked, and it was great, a great feeling when I got it. Just kind of validation for the work that you've been doing and putting in the effort and all those little tiny things. The head was great, and I put into play those mental wins that I've won over the last 10 weeks or so, and I built on them during the race, and it really brought them to focus and to the front of my brain, so it didn't allow anything else to come in, like, you know. Yeah, absolutely delighted with the park run. Sets me up going forward, and it gives me another little bit of motivation, and delighted with it. So moving on to Sunday. Sunday was the long run, 20 miles. I didn't get out till bloody mid-afternoon. It was after 2 o'clock, half 2 when I got out. Got the 20 miles done. Escaped most of the weather anyway. The Sunday morning I was walking a match Sunday morning. And as you know yourself, if you were out, it was thundering rain, wind blowing sideways. But managed to escape most of that. I got dosed, say halfway through the race, halfway through the run, around 10 miles to 12 miles, absolute downpour, middle of the afternoon. Horrendous stuff. But look, got it done. There was nothing extraordinary or wonderful about the run. It just got done. I averaged just probably 750-minute miles. It was handy, it was very easy. Ran from the house down to Fisborough, into the park, a zigzag way around the park, got 10 miles, turned around and came back the opposite way. Just wanted to get it done, get it out of the way. I was practicing the gels. I had the gels I'd say probably every half an hour. The NRG gels that I'm using for the moment for this training block. 46 grams of carbs in each gel. So every half an hour I was banging one down. It was giving me over 90 grams of carbs per hour. And that's what you should be aiming for, you know, somewhere between 90 and 110 grams. So yeah, grand run, got through it, not a problem, and feeling a bit tired from the park run the day before, all right, in the last couple of miles, you know, coming back, you're coming up the Moby Hill there, from Moby Road all the way up. It's a tough old struggle, you know, there's a mile and a half there at the end of a 20-mile run that's just feels like it goes on forever, but look, it is what it is, you know. We got through it and got back, got stuck into the nutrition when I got back straight away. Done up the milkshake with probably 250 grams or milliliters of milk, scoop of protein powder, some frozen berries, and got that into me, very sharpish, straight away inside the door, and got it into me, and it's most important. We'll talk a little bit about it more in the nutrition section, and yeah, but getting it in straight away really seals the deal, you know. So moving on to the nutrition side of things, this week it's been fairly good now. I've really tuned into the nutrition this week. We've upped the proteins and made sure that I was really nailing that this week, and I walked the treat, you know. I had a few more yogurts during the day, different things like that, back on the eggs for lunch, and just different ways of boosting up the protein. For dinners I was having a little bit of extra meat and all the rest of it, you know. So if we're having steaks or steak burgers, I was having 3 this week instead of normally 2. If I was having a chicken fillet, I'd have 2 rather than 1, and different things like that, just to tweak it up, you know what I mean. And it was great. I felt grand all week. I suppose I'll know into next week and how you recover from the week and all the rest of it. So it's not an overnight bloody fix or an overnight wang bang that you see the blooming results. It's down the road and all the rest of it, and it's a process of just building on it and being consistent with it, I suppose, you know. So yeah, but this week what I've really nailed was the post-run nutrition, right? So coming back from the sessions, getting the bloody long run or getting your nutrition in, like after, even though it was only 4 or 5 1000s during the week, I still managed to get the shake in afterwards with the carbohydrate in it and the protein. After the park run, I planned it, packed a bag, brought the chocolate milk with us, didn't take a chance, got it into me straight away. Sunday after the long run, same again, home, in the door, shake straight away before I had my shower, and just different things like that. And it's a thing you should be looking out for in your own running. And what I find and what I see a lot of people doing is they're not paying enough attention to it. So for me, you're selling yourself short. Why go to the bother of doing your long runs, doing the sessions, not fueling right afterwards? So what happens then when you don't fuel, you're lethargic the next day. Your recovery is hindered. by not taking the recovery nutrition seriously enough. You're hindering the training the next day, so your performance is dropping as the week goes on. When it comes to Sunday, you're flat to the bloody mat, you do your long run, and you're absolutely shagged for the last half of the long run. It's because your bloody nutrition during the week, post-run, post-session nutrition, wasn't where it should be, you know. Or, even worse again, your pre-run nutrition wasn't where it should be. You see too many people going out and before a long run, I can't take a breakfast. I can't eat a breakfast. It's the greatest load of horseshit. You need to be nailing your breakfast. And I don't give a fiddler's what it is. And I've talked more pre-marathon talks about this, and some people would be sick of hearing me saying it, but I don't care whether you can't take porridge, you can't take all brown or whatever it is. It could be as simple as a cup of tea and a pan of chocolate. Anybody can order a pan of chocolate, can't they? 2 slices of toast, a bit of blooming chocolate spread on it. Get something into it with a bit of carbohydrate. You need the fuel to fuel the runs and to fuel the training sessions. You're doing yourself a massive disservice by not looking at the sports nutrition, pre-run and post-run. Something you should tune into for the rest of the week. Make it this week that you're going to look at it and see, can you tweak it a little bit for yourself and see how it goes throughout the week. I guarantee you, it makes a massive, massive difference. So moving on to mental wins this week. Mental wins this week for me was getting back into the gym, lifting weights again this week. I can't tell you how much I'm not a lover of the gym. I'm just not. I don't know what it is. I'm just not a lover of gyms, lifting weights and all the rest of it. But I know it's a necessary evil and I have to do it. Because of all the benefits it gives me down the road, I just don't like it. It doesn't float me boat, as they say. But getting back in this week and getting 2 good quality sessions in stood me. I was delighted when I got them done. It's a great feeling when you get that feeling, and I know you can't sit down and all the rest of it and your glutes are saying hello to you. I actually enjoy that feeling. You know you've worked, and I know somebody will tell me it's not always an indicator of a good hard session, the fact you can't walk and all the rest of it, and I understand that. It doesn't work for me. I'd rather feel the blooming session a little bit. It kind of validates the session for me, so don't bite me head off. So that works for me. So it was a massive win getting them 2 sessions in this week. Another massive win was the park run on Saturday. Just my frame of mind during the park run, as I was telling you, just where I was in my head all the way along, talking well to myself, positive, neutralising some of the comments in my head, and just working on it, and just working hard, believing that I had the strength in the legs to get me home, and that if I kept on with the pace, even though I knew I was stretched to the limit, I knew I'd have the strength in the legs to get me home, you know, and that's the one thing I kept reassuring myself with, and just believing that I've done probably 11 weeks now at this stage, and 11 good weeks, solid weeks, and going back over the mental wins that I've built over the last 11 weeks in my head, and reassured myself that I've been here before, I've done it before, and I can do it bloody again, and that's it. And it was a massive win for me. Also, the long run Sunday was a massive mental win, let me tell you. I was after being out all morning in the pissings of rain, I got drowned. And coming home, having a bit of lunch, I had a snooze on the blooming couch. Liverpool were playing Man City in the afternoon, 4 o'clock, I knew I was going to miss them. I said, holy Jesus. I dragged myself out the door because I knew. I wasn't really dragging myself out the door, I was always going out the door anyway. Because that's what I wanted to do, that's where I wanted to be. I needed to get me 20-mile run. I've built that mental toughness I feel over the last few months of training, and I really feel that working on that mental toughness week in, week out has really paid dividends for me in the last 12 weeks. I'm a hell of a lot stronger mentally, I'm a hell of a lot more tuned in. It's going to get done, and that's it. End of. There's no bloody excuses, there's no looking left or right or anything else. Just nail down the road and get out, get the run done. We got it done, and it finished off a great week, you know. So just to finish up, we've had a good week this week. Next week was meant to be me rest week, but I never got an entry for Carlingford, so we're going to push on next week and drive it on. We have an entry for Bohemian, so the rest of the week will have to wait for another week. This week has been grand. It's been very good. It's been solid. Looking to build on it this week. Get a couple of good sessions in and see how we go. But we'll keep tipping over and pushing on. Keep believing and see where it takes us. And as usual, with all these channels, if you can like, share, follow, ring a bell, notifications, send it to your close friends, family, or anybody you know that's doing a spring marathon or a marathon in general or has desires to do a marathon or a half marathon, send them around and I'd really appreciate it. Until next week, look after yourselves.